Morning, it's that time again when I don't have any reception, so I can't listen to Glenn Beck. And the very last words I heard Glenn Beck say before I lost reception here as I'm getting on Route 6, just approaching the Palisades, was, is there anywhere we can go to escape from politics? He was talking about this whole controversy now about taking the knee with the NFL and how the president is reacting to it and how he feels that both sides are just being stupid as far as this is concerned, and how the NFL is also being stupid to say, we're here to have fun, make money, whatever, and we're not here to discuss politics and what kind of nonsense is this on either side. And he pointed out something. He said, the president, why is he, here's Colin Kaepernick, who's not a particularly good football player. I don't know anything about sports. I don't really care. I think the whole thing's stupid. I remember one of my rabbis in high school, he said that, Moshe Weinberger, he said, we have to be thankful for sports. I mean, he's a sports fan, but, because, that's what keeps the masses occupied, so there aren't pogroms like there used to be in Europe. But I think that's a pretty stupid thing to say. But that's what, the kind of mentality that I heard. I guess there's some truth to it, but the thing is that, for the most part, I see today the attacks on the Torah community come mostly from Jews and not from non-Jews. And I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of the pogroms throughout the years were instigated by Jews who were fighting against Torah and who were trying to find, excuses and reasons to fight against Torah and so forth. I mean, there certainly is evidence for this, but that's neither here nor there. That's not the point. And I really shouldn't even say that. But and I'm not saying that all secular Jews are bad. God forbid. There are very good secular Jews. But my point is, look at someone like what's that guy's name? Dennis Prager. He's and I don't agree with all his politics either. Just he's an intellectual person and he's respectful and so forth, and certainly there's Mark Levin and things. I don't know how secular I wouldn't classify either of them as really secular, but they're not orthodox necessarily. I really don't know anything about Mark Levin, what his personal religious beliefs are, but I spoke to him once on the radio. I was on the show one time, and he sent me a book, but that's all I know. I never really discussed with him his personal, private religion. But he's obviously Jewish, and I know, he takes off at least for one day Rosh Hashanah. But then he said, and he said something, very strongly. He said, there's a few years ago, I remember how he said there was, he lives in Northern Virginia, and he says he doesn't know a synagogue, a temple, whatever, within 100 miles of him that he can attend. And he says not because he left Judaism, but because the Jewish community left him. Similar to how Reagan said he didn't leave the Democratic Party, but the Democratic Party left him, which is not really 100% true. But there's what I think we could really say is that the Democratic Party lost much of its diversity, and the Republican Party gained a tremendous amount of diversity over the years. I think is what really happened. And so maybe there could be some truth to that, but what's left, of the Democratic Party is certainly some of the worst aspects of it, which have been just rebranded into something new. People shouldn't think that the Democratic Party stopped being racist, because really, essentially, they're really more racist. I mean, you look at the essential ideas of groups like Planned Parenthood and so forth, which are essentially racist, and that's why the Democratic Party has embraced them, and they fooled a lot of people into thinking that they're not racist. I mean, that it was just a rebranding, but not a change in its essence, because the lynching hasn't stopped. It's happening from the womb. That's what's really going on in the Democratic Party today. But I really started here talking to say, where can we go where we won't talk about politics? And I know a lot of folks probably feel, Jewish people who do go to their temples once a year, to the synagogue temple, wherever they go once a year, or a few times a year, the high holidays, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur. I'm sure, I don't know. I didn't go to such a synagogue, If in my synagogue the rabbi's talking up from the pulpit about politics, he's probably talking about, I don't know, Truman or Eisenhower or something. I don't know, But the fact of the matter is that I'm sure in a lot of synagogues there was a lot of talk about politics on either side. Probably, of course, the non-Orthodox movements, the essentially liberal movements, probably speaking out against the president, and for the most part, probably saying lies, misinterpreting his statements and so forth, and not really understanding. And I think it's really not. I don't think it's a misunderstanding. I think it's an intentional kind of dissidence to make a decision that they're not going to cut this guy any slack. He wasn't my first choice. I wasn't very happy that he was the Republican nominee. I would have much rather seen someone like Ted Cruz or Ben Carson or someone like that. But in the end, the fact of the matter is, like I've said for many months now, President Trump is a person who could really bring this country together. And the thing is the last thing the Democrats want is this country to be unified and together. Because here's a man who's essentially a Democrat, who won the Republican ticket and won the presidency, and really has the potential to bring this country together. And the media and the left do not want that. George Soros doesn't want that, so forth. And so they're going out of their way, whatever they can do, to make the president look bad. That's what's really going on here. But that's not what I'm talking about here. What I'm talking about here is, where can we go that we won't talk about politics? And I'll tell you what, I don't know what's going to be in Yom Kippur, but I know in my synagogue, a whole Rosh Hashanah and the Shabbos Shuvah, 3 days that we were disconnected from the world. I haven't even caught up with my emails from Rosh Hashanah. I was trying, but I have been so busy just catching up with life. I have 4 days, almost coming up 5 days of emails to catch up on. So I want to apologize if anyone sent me an email and I didn't respond yet. I checked the emails that are in the sent box to see, if I sent something and someone responded to it, but because that's going to be less. But I get so many emails every day, mostly from Thumbtack.com, leads for weddings and things, and so I just didn't. I didn't have time. I had to have Malam Malka and everything, and then yesterday I had to get an oil change. I had to clean up the house a little bit. I had to go to the dump. But they don't. Where I live, in a small rural community, they don't deliver mail and they don't pick up garbage. I have to go to the post office to pick up my mail, and I have to go to the dump to drop off my garbage or pay someone to come pick it up. I mean, everybody has to pay someone to pick it up, but the thing is that usually you pay for it in your taxes, and where I live, we don't pay for it in taxes. So whatever, that's just a situation how I live, but and I think I could have gotten the oil change today, but whatever. I'm thinking maybe I might I have an hour and a half lunch break. I'm thinking I might go to Muncie and try to Shlok Kaporis. I don't know where. I don't know if they have it by Evergreen this year. If anybody knows, let me know. But where can we go to escape from politics and just, because you would think, you have entertainment, you have movies, which is something I personally enjoy. I don't like really the new movies so much. I watch the old movies. Once in a while I'll see a new movie, Star Wars, something, or Jurassic Park or King Kong or whatever, But even that stuff is full of politics now. I mean, it's not always covertly. Sometimes in a hidden way, but it is what it is, But you go the same thing, whether it's TV, movies, sports. You expect to escape politics. I had someone give me mussar, why am I talking about politics at all And they said, a rabbi, a priest, a minister was a Jewish person, but he used to be frum, and he went off to derech, whatever, and he said, a rabbi or a priest or whatever shouldn't be talking about politics. And the thing is, I agree basically from the pulpit. It's not the time or the place, except, in extreme circumstances. Maybe yes, maybe no. That's but on my personal Facebook page, it's not a ministry page. It's a personal Facebook page. I don't know, or the same thing. This is not. I don't consider this ministry necessarily. I guess it is part of my ministry, but not fully. I'm trying to talk faster now. People tell me that if you talk faster, people will watch your videos more. I don't know, whatever. I'm not as tired as I was. I got a good night's sleep last night, even though I woke up a few times, but I'm not as tired as I was the past few days. So I guess that's why I'm talking faster. I'm not sure. I don't know exactly what's going on. But in any event, we're talking here about where can we go to escape politics. You would think synagogue, church, mosque, whatever should also be a place you could escape politics. Wherever temple, wherever you go, But the thing is, most of these places do have some political leaning to the left or the right. Where do you find a place that's totally in the middle? Now the fact of the matter is, no matter what, your pastor is going to have some political opinion. Your rabbi, your priest, your imam, your pastor, they're going to have, your guru, whoever you go to, they're going to have some political opinion. It's just the way it is. So, what can we say about that? But the thing is, should they be talking from the pulpit? Yes. And again, I think there's a time and a place. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. But as far as the here and the now, what I experienced this Rosh Hashanah, the sermons were fairly brief. I guess Shabbos Shuvah Drush was a little longer than usual because we were trying to daven mincha right away. We had two sermons, one on each day of Rosh Hashanah, so we had three sermons altogether from our rabbi. Zero politics. It was just about, and really not even anything about current events. And I think that was really refreshing because, we're so inundated with politics, with current events, with all kinds of things. And I think it's just enough to just talk about God, talk about what's in the machzor, talk about Torah, talk about Scripture, talk about stories in the Talmud, stories, teachings from great rabbis through the years, and that's enough. Tell a joke or something, and that's enough. And that's what I saw in my synagogue. And so if you're in upstate New York or northeastern Pennsylvania, for that matter, and you're looking for a synagogue to go to on Yom Kippur, this coming Shabbos, this coming Sabbath, where you won't hear anything about politics, I say come to Rabbi Fishbane Shul in White Lake, the only year-round synagogue in White Lake, New York. I don't understand the people. They go and they walk and they pay for a shul that's in the temple that's in our backyard, where it closes right after Yom Kippur. Where are you guys going to say Yizkor on Shemini Atzeres? I'm sure there's a few people who want to say Yizkor, and they're going to drive to Liberty or something else. You have a shul right here. Let's let bygones be bygones. Let's put all our fights aside. Come, you guys. I saw what was going on Friday night. You didn't have anybody there. You had 8 people there. Come. We have a year-round synagogue. Why are you paying for something that's phony? You have a rabbi who's driving in from Poughkeepsie, and that's what you call a rabbi. You were better off with the lady rabbi, who at least was Shomer Shabbos. Have some seichel. Think about what's going on. You're welcome. Everybody's welcome. We don't charge. You don't need a ticket. There's plenty of room. Come check out our synagogue. Give it a chance. This Yom Kippur, you're going to come to synagogue. You're not going to hear about Trump. You're not going to hear about Clinton. You're not going to hear about Obama or Bernie Sanders or Ted Cruz or anything. You're not going to hear. Maybe you'll hear about Truman or Eisenhower. That's true, but I don't know. That's because our rabbi, that's his era, But or maybe local politics. That's something, but not from the pulpit. Maybe at Kiddush, and there's no Kiddush on Yom Kippur. So maybe by the break fast, I don't know. But as it is, let's make sure we're all. If you're looking for a shul where you're not going to hear about politics, you're just going to hear about God. You're just going to hear about Torah. You're just going to hear about, what's the machzor, good things, uplifting, inspirational things, and not boring. Our rabbi, he's a great speaker. He tells good jokes, good stories. He's phenomenal. I mean, you've seen his videos here on YouTube. If you're not sure where you're going to go and you're thinking maybe you want to try going to synagogue for Yom Kippur, check us out. If you're in the Sullivan County or Wayne County or any, wherever areas, Delaware County, whatever, and you don't have where to go, check us out. We love to see you. We love to welcome you. God bless. Please like, share, and subscribe. And if you're just going to stay home and not go to shul and not drive, that's better. But I'm saying if you're going to drive anyway and you're thinking, which temple you should go to and this and that, we're not going to discriminate against you just because you drive. There are plenty of people who come to our shul who drive also. We welcome everybody. We don't discriminate. This is your synagogue. You're welcome to come. We have a nice Hamisha crowd, but also, that's the other thing about the other temple. They're discriminating against the vast majority of synagogue going Jews in town, and really the vast majority of Jews in the summer. Whereas by us, anybody can come, and we have Reform, Conservative, Orthodox, totally secular, intermarried, ultra-Orthodox, Sephardic, Ashkenazic, Hasidic, Litvish, Yakish, Modern Orthodox, ultra-Orthodox. Everybody comes to our shul, and I think you'll feel comfortable there too if you're thinking where to go. Obviously, if I'm not talking about someone who, they live in a town and they have somewhere walking distance they could go to or whatever. I'm talking about someone who's not sure where they're going, what they're doing for Yom Kippur. You're more than welcome to join us, and we'd love to see you. God bless. Please like, share, and subscribe. And thank you for watching. And I'm pretty sure if Rosh Hashanah is any indication, it's going to be a no politics zone. I'm not saying the rabbi doesn't have his own political opinions. What I'm saying is this is a no politics zone, during the high holidays, during the drushes. There are more drushes on Yom Kippur. We have a drush Friday night for Kol Nidre. We have a drush by Musaf, and we have a drush before Nila. And they're all phenomenal. The Nila one's pretty short. Come, enjoy. You're going to really enjoy it if you and on a weekday too. If you're from whatever, you don't want to drive, come on a weekday. And we might even have a place for you for Shabbos. Especially in the winter. Especially if it's just a man, not a whole family, and you want to stay. But you're welcome to drive, whatever. We don't discriminate. We love everybody. Thank you for watching. God bless. Please like, share, and subscribe. And let's make peace. If anybody here from Temple Bethel, we want to make peace. You're welcome to come join us. You're welcome. We can merge together. We see you're struggling. We see you don't have anything. Come. Forget about the nonsense. Forget about the politics. Forget about the personal, whatever fights you have. Come back home to Judaism. Enough of your silly nonsense you got there. Come to the real thing. You know what's going on. God bless. Please like, share, and subscribe. All the best.